6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the Galactic Seabass Podcast, episode 64. And we are here joined today by a very special friend of mine. Normally it's me rambling in my kitchen. However, today we are joined by one of the newest regulars at the Comedy Store in La Jolla, a stand-up comic who's up and coming in the ranks. I am glad you guys got to see him here before he blows up. This, my friends, is episode 64 with my pal, Mr. Michael Hall. Michael, how you doing today? Good to see you.
Sir?
I haven't called you Michael in the entire time I've ever known you.
No,
So
that's totally fine.
that's kind of fun.
Michael's fine. Michael's good.
Where's my little microphone? Can't do that without it. Obviously, this is a legitimate podcast with real audio quality. So we got our equipment that's totally plugged in. Cheers.
Ready to go?
I forgot a lot of things. I forgot my coffee. Oh
Lighter.
boy, we're just getting to it. We're rock and rolling. Hey,
I'm gonna grab this lighter.
we're doing it. Oh, hey, we're forgetting stuff.
We're doing it. We're
getting
doing it. We're making it happen.
Welcome to episode 64, everybody. Today is July 13th, 2024, I do believe.
Saturday the 13th.
Saturday the 13th. Kind of fun, not as scary. Today is episode 64. This is my original N64 I had when I was a kid. Shout out to my dad for getting this thing for me. It's kind of a fun story, too. Like, I think I was 8 years old, and my dad said, hey, go get a towel out of the dryer. And I said, okay. And I ran up there and I grabbed a towel out of the dryer, and I gave it to him. And he's like, you didn't see anything else in the dryer? I was like, nope. And I went up there to look in the dryer again. And I was just so ADHD mindseted, I just beelined it for the towel and ran back. But there was an entire N64 Pokemon Stadium, giant cardboard box in the dryer. I just didn't see it. Don't know how. And,
Glad no one turned on the dryer.
yeah, right? Shouts out.
I'm a dude.
How are you doing today, buddy?
Doing good, man. Doing good. We got a show tonight at
We do have a show.
the name of the brewery,
Ooh, Bolt's Brewery.
Bolt's Brewery in La
Bolt
Mesa.
Brewery at 7:30.
Yes, Bolt Brewery, La Mesa.
Both Mike and I will be on tonight. If you're out here in the San Diego area, please feel free to come on by, swing on down.
It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be
Be
great.
good.
time.
Be a good little show. Mike
Yeah.
Red's putting it on.
Yeah, Mike Red.
Blackest white dude in San Diego.
He's pretty black.
Shouts out. You gotta meet him.
That black son of a bitch.
A hairline.
Yeah.
Hey, cheers, buddy.
Cheers, man.
Thanks for being here, man.
Yeah. Ding.
Coffee and Monster. That's a cheers, babe. We're doing it.
Yeah, man. Take a little swig.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Mr. Cartoon, who we just found out. Mike pointed out he kind of looks like a clown. Sorry to grab your glass, but you guys can see this. He's like a clown Walter White,
Yeah.
which is nuts. That was one of the craziest call-outs I've ever seen. Great call on that one.
Yep.
Nice
Little
job.
clown Walter White.
All right, well, let's just get into it, buddy.
All right.
I'd like to go ahead and just talk to you about some stuff. So, all right, we were just talking about this beforehand. I thought you were from New Orleans. You're not from New Orleans?
No, I was born and raised in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles? What part of Los Angeles?
South Central. So like, I was raised.
Ooh,
off
that's
of,
that part's referred to in many rap songs.
Yeah, like Florence, basically Florence and Gramercy.
Okay.
So that's where the riots popped off at.
Okay.
Was there? That's where I was raised around.
But
But it was like not around the riots. I wasn't. It was violent, but I was in the house.
the
I was like
Rodney
2,
King
so I
riots
didn't-
or
yeah.
the George Floyd riots?
Rodney King.
Okay.
So I was like 2. I didn't
You were
see.
you must have been very young.
experience anything.
My mom was there for that.
The riots.
She was kind of around. Like a 19-year-old girl in LA, just vibing. Hey, she lived.
No.
One of those things. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
how
from Los
did
Angeles.
how did growing up in Los Angeles like affect your psyche? I saw you go like this earlier, which was very
This, yeah.
Interesting.
I feel like that I've had a good experience with a lot of different cultures because I was raised in a melting pot. Yeah, a bunch of different cultures and races. I grew up around Latino, Middle Eastern, white, black, Asian, like it just, you know.
You're a very similar
This
little
is, you know, I grew up listening to rock and roll and rap.
thing. Hey, there you go.
You know, I had friends who surf. I didn't surf. I boogie boarded.
There you go.
But, you know, that's about it. Like,
That's pretty cool.
and when I left, I wanted to see something different than the city, so I went to Tennessee. I lived with one of my old best friends out there.
You're in Memphis or
I was in Nashville.
Nashville?
I was in Nashville for about a year. Then I got ready to go to school in Western Kentucky University.
How old were you at this point?
I was 22.
Like early 20s? Yep.
Yeah. Started to go to school in Kentucky. So I went from Tennessee to Kentucky. I was kind of doing stand-up.
Starting it out?
Yeah, I did it. That's just another story. Like, starting it out, I was an assistant to a stand-up comic.
Oh wow, that's weird.
Yeah, he had me.
What kind of comic gigs? Like, were they at that level? Were they?
Yeah, he was at that level. He was on a tour with Martin Lawrence.
Oh, okay, wow.
And he.
That's a great start.
Yeah, his name is Joe Clare. Joe Clare.
You really got to see someone who was really doing it.
Yeah, he was. I didn't really know what stand-up was. I had an idea. I just kind of always assumed for a long time, like, even though I love stand-up and I was a fan of it, I was like, well, that's just, I'm worlds away from that. But he had me sit down and download. He wanted to make a black YouTube. That was the idea at the time.
Bluetooth?
That's funny. He, so I was downloading black stand-up comedy.
Okay.
So I was just doing that for months and months and months. And then...
From YouTube?
From YouTube, just like... I'm making a little library for us because he wanted to like just do black entertainers only. So I'm like... And as I'm doing, I'm just like watching and watching.
Yeah.
And then, I forgot what it was. I think I went to... My mom... Mind you, I'm interning for this guy. My mom was like, hey, we're broke. We don't have any money for Thanksgiving, so I'm taking this to the Laugh Factory for Thanksgiving to have a free giveaway of food. So I go there and I see all these comics giving back food. I'm like, oh shit, these are like legit comics. I see like Paul Mooney. I see Dan Cook.
Yeah, wow.
This is Dan Cook at like in his prime.
At his height.
At his height. Giving away mashed potatoes, I'll never forget. And I went to go see Paul Mooney. And then Paul Mooney just kind of ignored me and treated me like an asshole, kind of. I was like, hey, I'm a fan, but I'm like a teenager. So even like I say a fan, he's like looking at me like, kid, you're not really a fan. You don't really know about comedy. Basically is what I got from it. He didn't say shit to me. He just like looked through me. So I go back to the line to get food, and then Dane Cook sees me, and he's like, yo, Paul's a fucking asshole. Sorry. Paul's Paul. Basically. He didn't say fucking asshole, but he was like, Paul's Paul. Sorry.
That's cool.
What do you want to know about stand-up comedy? Are you like interested? I'm like, yeah, man. Can you like tell me more? I'm kind of doing this thing on the side. Interning. Dane Cook's like, yeah. So he puts down the stuff he was like doing, walks me outside, and then I'm just like getting information from him. Like, yo, what do I do? He's like, open mics. What else? He's like, watch and write. And he was like, but you gotta like really watch and write, and you gotta like really be consistent. And he just kind of tells me all this stuff. He tells me all the basics in the short amount of time that he has.
What do you really need to know?
What I really need to know. And then
you really have to lock those fundamentals down.
Yeah, because I kept thinking about what he said for years. He was like, always get back, always write, always get up, don't stop. Like, don't stop. And yeah, I was like getting the fundamentals, not even knowing. I'm watching these videos as an intern. I'm like thinking about what Dan Cook said, looking at my boss. And then I remember being so intrigued. And then I went to this place called the Comedy Union in LA. And I sucked so bad. And
first go?
It was my, it was my first time. I think I went up like a few more times after that. And then I stopped for a long time because I was like, well, I'm bad. And then I ended up
You weren't listening to his advice then?
No.
He said, don't stop.
Don't stop. But it was good that
I did the same thing.
It was good that I did because then I really got to do my start elsewhere. So like I moved to Tennessee, went up a few times, moved to Kentucky. Started going up, but like once a week.
Right.
Because that's all Kentucky had, at least in that part of Kentucky. And then once a week became once a week plus a show.
There you go.
I got a show started. Then it became 2 shows. Then I got to go out to a bigger city in Kentucky. Then I won a contest. Then I got to go out there more. And then I moved to New Orleans after a year or so. After a couple of years.
How long were you in New Orleans before you came back?
7 years.
Oh, wow. So there were like 8 solid years in the game.
Yeah. I was like, it was like, I count when I really started when I got to New Orleans. Because all that other stuff is just me basically getting up every now and again. And kind of like getting my feet wet.
That everyday thing though came when you were...
was in New Orleans because it was like 2 shows a day, 3 shows a day. Boom, 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 boom.
That's cool. When's the last time you watched Easy Riders?
Years and years and years and years and years ago.
There's a part, I think...
It's a gay cowboy movie?
That's Brokeback Mountain.
Oh.
Easy Riders, although it does sound like that would also be a good name for it. Easy Riders was this crazy... It's what inspired Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Pretty much. Just this wild motorcycle film with almost no plot. And at one point they go to a whorehouse in New Orleans. They do acid and they have sex in a graveyard. Which is like, wow. Neat. You know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like New Orleans. I don't know a lot about it, so that's what I wrote down.
That's a dope town. It's filled with...
And it's filled with ghosts and stuff, right?
Well...
Lots of ghosts and spooky times. That's what Scooby-Doo said.
It's a lot of culture, a lot of history, a lot of... there are some scary stories. Crawfish when it's in the season.
Oh,
Cajun food all the time. No, crawfish is a seasonal thing.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Like...
Going down the bayou there, yeah.
No one talks like that.
Is that not a thing?
No, you'll meet people who kind of talk like that.
Down in the swamp, yeah. Yeah, I'm all Greg, yeah.
No one talks like that. There's more people I feel like in New Orleans who kind of sound like they're from New York.
Okay.
Then, yeah.
When you got back to San Diego, you had this kind of drive for comedy, and now you're at a point where you became a regular at the Comedy Store in La Jolla. How are you feeling about that, buddy?
I'm excited because that's like I feel like I've been on a lot of shows, and like that show where I got picked was like the most nervous I was, because not only did I respect and I like truly did think that everyone in the lineup was funny, but it's kind of like you're like, damn, the Comedy Store, that's lit. Like just that name, just that, like, you know.
How many minutes did you do?
I think 6.
6? Yeah, that's usually it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard from other comics
that like this.
Sure. I heard from all the other comics, like everybody worked really hard that night.
Matt worked his ass off. Matt, if you watch this, you worked your ass off, bro. I love that shit. But yeah, everyone worked. Yeah.
That's cool. You could put that thing in the middle.
Sorry. I didn't want to get it.
I was thinking.
Oh, right there.
Yes, don't burn the ottoman.
Yeah. When you
See,
smoke,
that's what I
the
think
sound.
of when I think of the Cajun accent. Somebody with a mouthful of weed. He's like, yeah, I'm out there. Yeah.
Also, not when I said that people sound like they're from New York. That's like some people from like the Metairie area.
Yeah,
which
give
is
me a
like
loaf of bread and a stick of butter.
Yeah, it's like
I went down to the store, down to the harbor.
yeah, those people exist.
Yeah.
And then there's the people with like no accent, but then there's the people with the rough accent, like the thick accent. But then there's like the black accent too. So there's like different.
The black accent.
It's like Creole.
You know, speaking of, do you think AI will ever get to the point where I can be a black guy?
No. Well, yeah, because Google kind of fucked up.
2 different answers.
Well, Google has a AI engine that when people would look up historical figures, I guess it would just fuck up, and I know the ins and outs of it or the exact details, but if you would look up like the presidents or something of,
They would just make them black?
they would look black. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So
maybe they were all black guys, and history got it wrong.
I'm sure
Maybe slavery didn't happen.
There's a whole.
Maybe you guys were in charge the whole time. That's what AI said. I didn't write this.
Slavery happened. We weren't in charge.
All right. You say so. Nah, I'm just kidding. That was pretty bad. On behalf of all the whites, my bad. Yeah, I'm getting canceled. Well, Here's something to switch up the subject, because we're just going to move on. Pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah.
At the same time, I didn't do it. That was my great-granddaddy. So, I have a theory.
Yeah.
You ever seen Heavyweights?
Yeah. With Ben Stiller?
Yes. Now, have you ever seen Happy Gilmore?
Yes.
Okay, now have you ever seen Dodgeball?
Yes.
Okay, there's a theory going around that the Ben Stiller character is in one universe in all three of these films. Let's go back in time to Heavyweights. We got this psycho dude trying to train these kids and get these fat kids into like a psychotic level of,
What is it?
nutrition.
Lunchtime is canceled.
Yeah, it's canceled. So basically, he gets arrested, right?
Mm.
And they're like, this guy's psycho. So he goes and he like goes to the psych ward. He escapes and he becomes the nurse's assistant dude at the old folks' home. He has a different name and his mustache.
Yeah.
The Wally guy or whatever. Like, how about a nice warm glass of shut the hell up?
Yeah.
That dude. You can tell that same psycho energy. And then finally he escapes that, like raises enough money to start this gym practice. It becomes Globo Gym Incorporated. And what's his goal? What's his goal in life? To like get rid of fat people, basically. Fat people are the worst thing ever. He's come full circle to the point. And
That's
how
the
does the
same
movie end? He becomes a big fat guy. Fuck you, Chuck Norris.
I remember
just like,
that.
whoa.
Yeah. He becomes like...
Now, you could also say that there's no reason to tie in the Happy Gilmore character, but I feel like it's a crucial element to show his insanity.
It's all the same guy.
It's all the same
It's
guy.
all the same guy.
Mm-hmm. The only difference is that in the first film, he didn't have the big mustache. The mustache is what he uses to escape the identity. He has it in Happy Gilmore and in whatever the last one is, Dodgeball.
No.
When he's Walt Goodman. Because his name is Wally.
I forgot.
It's Wally and Happy Gilmore in his name tag, and then he's Walt. It became like a more sophisticated version of the Globo Gym. Pretty crazy.
Yeah,
You ever hear that theory?
I remember that. It makes sense to this theory.
There's not really like any way for you to kind of like talk about that, but I wanted to tell you.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to slavery. That's fun. This is my Emancipation Proclamation. Mike, do you think one day, I think you're going to make it, I think they're going to make the Mike Hall Hall of Fame. It's going to be a hall of Mikes. So Mike's, Michael Hall's Hall
The Council
of Fame of Mikes
The Council
in the hall.
The Council of Mikes.
Yeah.
The Council of Mikes. The Council of Kings.
Good band name.
Council of Rex. The Council of Reed.
Shout out to the Citadel. Also, you ever had a PB and TJ?
When you said PB and TJ, I honestly thought you meant peanut butter and jelly.
No, almost. See, we're almost there.
What's a PB? A peanut butter?
PB and TJ is where you get blacked out in Pacific Beach and end up in Tijuana.
No, I've never had that. I don't wanna.
You
Sounds
might.
like I catch something.
Are you technically always blacked out?
That's also racist. Juneteenth was last month.
Back in my day, they just called it June 19th. Isn't that like a new one? So wait, from my understanding, look, I'm not a piece of shit, everybody. From my understanding, June 19th was the last day that it was the last slave who was freed, like the very last one, according to like the record books. Is that correct?
We would have to Google it. I'm not the main person to talk to about this because I don't want to. Don't know. There's lots of details about it.
So yeah, I think that's it. No, like I'm confident in this. If this was like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, I'd go final answer on this one.
Mhm.
It's the last freed slave on record is that day. I think there was other slaves off record, low key. Like they were probably just like, this is fucked
I
up,
hope there were a
man.
lot more. I hope there were a lot more that we don't know about. That's cool. I don't want to be listed either sometimes or on the.
I had a girl call me a colonialist at a party, or a colonizer. I was like,
You are.
what?
You are a colonizer.
I'm a colonizer?
It just is.
Explain.
No
retraction.
You live here, right?
Okay.
This land originally belonged to indigenous people.
Okay.
You're not
So
indigenous.
you're a colonizer as well.
Nah. My people were brought here.
And we're going, okay, we're doing this, okay.
We were, you know,
They were
brought
sold
here
by
and
your
enslaved.
people.
What?
Yeah, like, a lot of black kings, like, sold most of their slaves, like.
In Africa.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even the term slave is a Slavic term,
I don't know,
which refers to.
You live. This is the
No, I
argument. You live here.
But we are both doing what you're saying, though.
No, we're not.
Well, I didn't move here.
I'm not on a lease.
I
Are
was
you on a
born
lease?
here.
Is your name on a lease?
In this.
Yeah.
House? Yeah.
Call it as.
So
Where
because
I
you live
live-
with your girlfriend, you're not
Her
a
name is on a lease, and she's a colonizer. She's white.
You piece of garbage.
But I am correct, so I don't understand where the confusion is. Like, I mean, to what end do you? My name isn't on any paperwork.
I never owned anybody.
But you are renting land that once belonged to indigenous people.
That's my landlord.
Your
What?
name is on this.
That
lease.
name sounds archaic. Like, way too old, right? A landlord? Like, what are you, the lord of the land?
Yeah. I'm done with calling people lords and
I think-
masters. That's why my name isn't on any paperwork that said such.
You're just playing the loophole game. You're like a Mormon.
I'm staying off the grids like my ancestors who weren't notified on Juneteenth. They were listed.
Who made the grid?
Who made the grid?
My ancestors, they built the grid.
Mine did. Oh.
This got wild fast. Look, at the end of the day, we're friends.
Yeah. Ding.
Racism has its moments. Like,
Yeah, sometimes the moments last a long time, like World War II, World War
the
One,
moments last for a little bit. Yeah,
Vietnam,
it's wild.
War on Terror.
Yeah, war on drugs is definitely.
War on
They're
drugs.
losing the battle. Yes, the drugs are winning. Shout out to drugs for winning the battle. Oh my gosh, yeah, that took a solid segue. Like, personally, I don't think that's the case. I just exist here.
We exist, man.
And there's modern day slavery in Libya. You can go on YouTube right now and like watch slave trades. Isn't that crazy?
I don't know. They have slave trading. That's horrible.
You watch that shit. Like, without even paying for it, not even premium. It's just like, look it up.
That would suck.
So that's why, like, I don't know, some of those things are
Libya.
like, but that seems like that's what really should be going on. I think that I love everybody, unless you do me wrong or harm or, like, unwell to my family or loved ones. Like, then I don't like you. But that's,
Well, then racism
that has nothing
okay.
to do with what you look like. It's just depending on your actions. Like, I think a lot of people missed what Martin Luther King was really going for when he said, like, don't judge a person based upon the color of their skin, but the content of their character. I think that goes just like idly by sometimes. Like, as a white person,
Yeah, you don't judge a person by their skin or color. And then he was shot by a white man. Judge everybody. No, I'm just kidding. Judge.
I don't know. It's like that. You ever see the Boondocks episode where he comes
Malcolm
back
X was
from the
killed.
dead?
Then Malcolm X was killed by black people. So.
Yeah, he was. That was, they were both amazing pioneers in whatever like they were trying to do at the time for societal change. I think we need more people like that believe in the power of humanity and are trying to do the right thing for the right reasons, even if it comes with the ultimate sacrifice. And there's a good chance that those were like plotted assassinations because they had too much power. Like,
Yeah.
what's not talked about a lot is Jimi Hendrix being taken out by the CIA. Like, do you know about that?
I thought he died under
See, let's hear what you think real quick.
drugs.
See, that's common. Most people have the common association that Jimi Hendrix choked on his own vomit.
Mm.
You ever heard that theory?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was on Quaaludes. Right. Okay, I'm going to give you a basic rundown of what happened. And you can go ahead and fact check this if you want. I think I know what I'm talking about here. Done a lot of research.
Mm.
So, Jimmy was starting to associate himself a lot with the Black Panthers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he had basically almost like a grip on the young black voice in America, including like the white man too. Everybody loved Jimi Hendrix. and he was starting to associate himself radically with the Panthers. So one night while he was sleeping, according to the autopsy report, basically there was almost like a half a gallon of wine in his lungs, which isn't like he didn't. The only way that it could have happened is basically being waterboarded with wine. Now, they said he overdosed on the Quaaludes, which made him throw up and choke on his vomit because he was facing up and not down. But here's the thing. He would, on average, do like 16 Quaaludes a day. And he had like 4 in his system, whatever the milligram worth is for that little dynamic.
Yeah.
So, basically, he did like a quarter of the drugs he would normally do, and then just like inhaled a bottle of wine. Not even like had like alcohol poisoning. It was literally in his lungs, so he just drank it or like sucked it in, which means that someone put a cloth over his head, soaked wine until he died, and then just tried to make it look like it was an accident. And that became like a modern story. And he like became, I think, what was that, 1978 when he died? So we never got to see like what he could have done in the 80s. And I mean, like, you know what kind of change that the black voice took in America and then like in the 1980s. That a lot of things changed.
So what you're saying is white men did kill.
Yeah, we fucked up. We did a lot of bad shit, dude. Like a
White man
lot of
killed Jimi
people,
Hendrix.
lots of people do lots of bad things, but yeah, like that was no good. And at the same time, yeah, Jimi Hendrix was most likely murdered by the CIA. That's like a deeply rooted conspiracy.
If you ever look at, I had this silly thought the other day. I was like looking at Back to the Future, and you know that scene where Marty McFly starts to disappear.
Right. Because his parents aren't gonna bang.
Right, and he's playing the song by
What is that? Sir? I know
Johnny Be Good.
I just watched it. Oh yeah.
He plays Johnny Be Good by
Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry. Sorry.
You're good.
And I was like, wait, so is this Robert Zemeckis' way of saying that rock and roll was really created by this
white guy?
Not Chuck Berry.
Well, Robert Johnson really was the curator when he created the blues in the South. That was the beginning of rock and roll. So I think it was before all that. But yeah, Chuck Berry definitely like this new crisp jazz. That is a crazy thing.
This is like
Basically, like, yo,
like,
you want to steal this song? Check it
yeah,
out.
Robert Zemeckis. And you know what? This is all just another ploy by the Israelites to keep down the dark skinned man. I'm just joking. Robert Zemeckis is an amazing filmmaker,
And there
and I
goes-
loved Polar
There
Express.
goes my monetization.
I loved
We're
Polar
almost
Express. I loved Back to the Future. Did he do Catch Me If You Can, or was that Steven Spielberg?
I don't know. I like that one.
They were both great.
Matt
Robert Zemeckis is amazing.
Matt Damon. I was thinking.
Talking about blues.
Speaking of Matt Damon, I heard that you went to the Oscars a couple years ago.
I went to the Oscars in 2007 and 2008.
Yeah?
Or I think it was just 2007, and then I went to the Junior Academy Awards in 2008 and 2009. But I wasn't listed as being.
Why were you there?
I went to school. Let me rephrase this, Mike. You just smoked weed. Get your words right.
Get
I
it together, buddy.
attended a film program for several years after high school.
Right.
And the film program was sponsored by the Academy of Arts and Sciences.
Okay.
Which Academy of Arts, same people that represent the Academy. Oscars. And myself and 49 other students were given the opportunity. I want to say it was, I forget, I know for sure I walked an Oscar down the red carpet with the other 49 students one year. The second year is a little fuzzy because I smoke a lot of weed. I think I just went there and I just attended and helped out.
Cool.
In the second year. The first
You're
year I got to
working
walk
both
Oscars.
years.
Yeah, I was working both years. So the first year anyway, I'm walking an Oscar down the red carpet with these students, and it was dope. I'm like, it was that the question? I got real high.
Yeah, just like
guys.
your experience,
Real
yeah.
high. It was pretty sick. I got
Any
to
standout moments?
From what I remember, this is going on 15 years now, so it's very fuzzy. I know the Oscar.
That's how I feel about my dad.
we got to meet the president at the time of the academy. Again,
Okay, that's cool.
This is 15 years, so I forget his name at the moment. I believe we met the guy who creates them, or they gave us a little backstory on who creates them, and it was a European gentleman.
Like the actual sculptures?
The actual sculpture of the Oscars.
Oh, cool. What are they made of?
I couldn't tell you.
Gold?
I don't even want to say it's gold, but I could be wrong. I remember wearing gloves when I held mine.
So, wow, you got a touch phone?
Got to hold it and walk it down the red carpet. And every other student did too, so that we were.
Oh, that was your job.
Yeah, we were presenting.
You were like torch holders for.
Torch holders, yeah, basically like that. And
damn, that is some.
It was lit.
That's some satanic shit, dude.
We was walking down Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
It was pretty sick.
You guys are just chanting up these demonic demons. Surprised you weren't singing in Latin while you did it.
We didn't stay for the Oscars. We didn't do any of that. We didn't sit in the audience or anything. We all just went and just.
But you guys just sit in the theater and watch the Oscars?
No, we didn't do any of that. We got to eat. They fed us in
Gruel.
No, it was, I think Wolfgang Puck.
Oh, that's nice.
Had made like this big, all this food.
This little spread. Wolfgang killed it.
Wolfgang Puck. Yeah, man. So that was pretty lit.
Wolfgang Puck brought some Wolfgang duck. Wolfgang
I was for many years from like high school to when I moved to Tennessee. I was an intern in the film world. I was an assistant. I was a PA, production assistant. Made short films, so I was like all doing that in LA. Yeah, trying to write and direct little dinky little short films. I made a zombie film with my friends and a bunch of people from Santa Monica College. I was in a junior college film festival that I helped set up with a few other people.
Do you still do that?
No, I've dedicated most of my time to stand up now. Now I'm just like.
Would you still make stuff?
I would. It's just the time and it's the mental, because it's like most people are really only like me. I feel like I'm only like really. I only have the time and the energy to focus myself on one thing to be good at it. While I kind of know all these other little small things here and there. So I have scripts that I've written. I have short films that I've done, but I want to become a better comic. And to be a better comic, I need to spend more time on stage and writing. Writing and then being on stage.
How often a week are you doing stuff nowadays in San Diego?
I'll try to go up 3 or 4 times a week. I'll try to go up, if not at just wherever you can, because there's nothing set in stone for any other mics. So you want to just get up where you can. It's slim pickings, you know.
Every once in a while you can get a set in stone spot, but
every once in a while, but then it just goes away.
Yeah,
it goes away. So
not anymore though. You got Tuesdays and Thursdays at the Comedy Store.
But see, that isn't even set in stone because there's so many cats. I've got to.
Right. Yeah. You have to work out which days are which.
You got to work out which days are which. I might not be able to go some days. I might have to work some days. You know, they've got to put on 40, 50 other people.
Right.
Which is like dope. It's like they're trying their best to keep
get everybody kind of cycling through and making sure people get their time
and not a lot
their
of
opportunity.
Not a lot of venues, places. Excuse me. Not a lot of places in town offer that opportunity for comics to get stage time. They really don't care about their local scene like that.
You got a lot of hungry people right now.
Hungry people.
National Lampoon is opening up a club in San Diego.
Lit as
Excuse me? What?
Lit.
The Yellow Door Theater?
Yo.
7th and
National Lampoon.
701 5th Avenue?
No, I'm just playing. That's not even NL. That's
please
one of
book us. We're pretty funny. You can come see us tonight at the Bolt Brewery.
But Mason,
you know, it'd be a lot cooler performing in a theater.
Is this going to be on before the show?
Yeah, this is live. Yeah.
Oh, gang.
If anybody wants to say what's up right now in the chat box, say what's up, dude. We'll get to your questions down below. If you would like to support this, if you would like to support the podcast, just like I'm supporting Mike's
drug habit,
brain,
he's been smoking me out.
I didn't want to say that. Let's say it like that. I was gonna say your mental alleviation status. I would love your support if you would like to do that. That sounds great. There's a couple ways too in the description down below. We got a Patreon, exclusive behind the scenes content. $2 a month gives you access to all of it. See stuff that I can't put on YouTube. I also have a Cash App and a Venmo if you're feeling like getting right to the point. Please also send me an email if you got questions, advice, stuff you want to hear from me. galacticseabass@gmail.com. You can follow Mike. His Instagram is in the description down below at It's Michael Hall. Come see him live too. I don't know if he posts his dates on his Instagram, but do you do that?
24th, Comedy Store, 8 p.m.
Boom. In La Jolla?
In La Jolla, not the actual one in Los Angeles.
Not
the
the
other
actual.
one. They're both the same, but one
They're both
is
good.
more
They're both
notorious.
great. Yeah.
This one is also great.
If it was a family tree, like ours would be a cousin. Yeah, don't cut that. Mike Venom, sorry. Please hire me. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, so you work in the movies. Movies have been such an influential part of my life. Our viewers know that. They're a huge part of this podcast. What was your experience working in cinema like? What okay, first of all, I actually really want to know what films went to feature that we might have recognized.
I worked in a movie called Power with Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
I worked
That's sick.
Yeah, NCIS New Orleans. It's a TV show, but it's a syndicated show.
Yep.
Deepwater with Ben Affleck and Ana
Del Rio?
No, I forgot her name, but
we
Ben
figured that
Affleck.
out yesterday.
Yeah, just her name escapes me at the moment.
What was it like to work with Ben Affleck?
It's pretty cool, man. He seemed like a pretty legit human being. He was talking to us about comic books and Batman, and he was real personable with everybody. He told us
The comic Batman, or was he showing you pictures of him?
No,
as
he wasn't even showing us pictures. We were just asking him questions about how was it playing Batman?
Like, I was Batman.
We asked him about what is he like, more acting or directing, and he said directing, and talked to him about the movie Argo.
Argo was great.
Argo went to town. He's a super professional guy. He got gifts for people on set. It was pretty cool.
Did he get you a gift?
No. But he did offer to give me a job.
Really?
He was like, "Yo, do you want to be a production assistant on this movie in Los Angeles?" And I remember thinking, "Fuck, I'm from LA. That'd be perfect." But looking at the pay, I wouldn't have been able to sustain myself.
Right afterwards.
Right. So.
Or even during.
Even during, all my money would have been going to.
Just this, maybe I have more work after.
Huge maybe.
Yeah.
And then it's like either that or live with my mom. So it's like live with my mom in my 30s working on a movie for 3 months, or stay working on other movies with my girl. New Orleans, staying out there.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah. No. It was a no-brainer, but that was a pretty cool experience.
Sorry, moms. That's pretty cool, though. Shout out to Ben. I did like Argo a lot. That was pretty fun.
I like him as a director because I was like, you always hear that Matt Damon is talented in this and talented in that, and people always like to make Ben the joke.
Damon.
Yeah, people always like to make Ben the joke of a lot of stuff. But then as soon as he did The Town, Argo, and you saw that he was writing spec scripts for Batman, and it was yo, he's actually fucking dope as fuck in these other things, and nobody's talking about it. Watch a couple of this dude's movies.
I like Days of Confused when he gets the paint poured on him.
That was an acting role, right? That was just him acting.
Just one of his first, probably.
Yeah, one of his first acting roles. I'm just saying he was just dope as a writer-director.
Yeah.
Just
random. I like that guy a lot.
Yeah.
He's done a few things. He was in the movie about that smart kid in Boston.
Good Will Hunting?
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smart boy.
It's yeah.
Smart boy shoots a gun or whatever.
Yeah, him and Matt Damon both wrote that.
Nice.
And then that's what,
I want to go over, so typically on the show I have a movie list of everything I've seen this week. So it's always kind of fun with a guest. I'll check with you first. If you've seen it, If you have, cool, we can talk about it. If not, I'm just gonna give it a little rating.
Okay.
All right, number 1, Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Seen it.
What was your little take? Do you have any like quick thoughts?
Funny take for a 2010s movie, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 2009, 2000.
I want to say maybe even like 9, 8, which is funny you say 2010s, but that makes sense still. 2000s.
Judd Apatow in his movies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
he had a little era there for a little bit.
He had a whole ass era, and it was like a little over a decade.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone that he spawned had their, you know.
Yeah. I think it was a little bit too overplayed. Like, there's no way he'd be at the same resort. There's no chance. And that he'd stay, and it'd just be like a whole thing. But every time I hear Aldous sing, like Aldous Snow, as the artist and Get It to the Greek, it kind of sounds like Third Eye Blind. So when I listen to Third Eye Blind now, I feel like it's Russell Brand singing through my speakers, and it makes me laugh. I gave the movie a 7.5 out of 10. Let's see. As above, so below. You know what? I must have watched this a while ago because I actually gave it a score rating of an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I saw it a long time ago. I remember watching it. I remember thinking it was pretty good. I'd definitely give it an 8.
I don't even think that's the one. No, there's a different movie that I wrote something else. I didn't finish As Above. I think I got blacked out and just never finished it. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7. I'm gonna give it a 7 actually because like. How you gonna get a Volkswagen down there? I don't like it.
Demons, man.
What is FSM? The fuck is that? FSM? That's not a movie. Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Oh, that makes sense. I gave it a 7.5. Okay. Forgot I wrote these down twice. Scary Movie 1.
Yep, I remember Scary Movie 1.
Oh, what an
10
era.
out of 10. Wayans Brothers. I only watched 1 and 2 because those are the only ones that mattered. 3 and the other ones are just...
3 and Beyond. I think 4 and Beyond is where I kind of call it, but 3 is cool to me.
1
I
and
love
2,
3.
they did the Wayans Brothers dirty by taking their movie away from them.
They did take their entire franchise.
And they rushed them on the sequel. I thought...
And didn't put Anna in it.
No, they're in there, but it's...
Not Anna in the 5th. They
Oh, and Anna, no. They got rid of...
Yeah.
I'm just saying the Wayans Brothers. I'm going to be honest, like... She was an intricate part, though.
Hey.
Black representation.
Goodbye.
Gang,
Yeah,
gang.
they were the best, dude. I like that they were also director-actors. Like, they...
Yeah.
You wouldn't think watching... The first 10 times watching it, I wouldn't assume that... What do they call him? Shorty? Yeah, dude, come on, kid, come on, kid.
Yeah, Marlon Wayans, Sean Wayans, Keenan Ivory Wayans, Damon Wayans, their sister, Kim Wayans, hysterical. Damon Wayans.
The entire family. It's one of those families where it's like, yo, if I eat, we're all eating.
All eating.
And I believe that they're fully supportive of each other, and I love that kind of like camaraderie in families. Like, you see a lot of like just really toxic families that get a lot of good presents, like the Kardashians. Everybody's so obsessed with them, but like, why isn't there a Wayne's like family show? I'd watch the fuck out of that. They're probably funny.
They've had so many.
Yeah, but I'm talking about that lifestyle reality cameras following them around.
Oh, they don't need to, they're all older now.
I know, but like, I'd rather watch that.
Yeah.
If that's gonna be the thing. Then there's just like this fake bland like family just with this Valley Girl accent the whole time, just ridiculous. Anyway, Scary Movie. I gave an 8.5, but you really give me that kind of like, you're right. I'm gonna give it a 9 because it's up there. You can't go wrong. Just like it changed. It was like our version of Airplane for a lot of kids. Like when we saw the first like big parody movie, you know.
When you said Airplane 2, I thought of Snakes in a Plane.
No, I'm talking the original Airplane.
No, I thought of like Our
Leslie
Generation
Nielsen.
Airplane.
Oh yeah. No, I'm like a super parody comedy.
Yeah, it's
Not quite
movie.
super bad.
It's
Super
scary
bad
movie.
was like just a funny movie.
Yeah, because they all
That's like
movie.
Three Amigos. It's just a funny movie in itself. But this was a straight like we're gonna rip off other movies, which is what Airplane did.
Yeah.
And I love that. I watched Cloverfield again.
Cloverfield was a good
Remember
movie.
the original one?
Yeah.
That camcorder style.
I liked it.
I think I called a lot of bullshit on what was going on throughout it. But I did like the fact that T.J. Miller is basically the camera guy for like 80% of the movie. Isn't that fun?
Yeah,
So
we
random.
get to see his face.
You get to see it a little bit in the beginning, and then when he dies.
He is one of the funniest comics.
I love him.
I love watching too.
Underrated. Shout out to T.J. Miller, dude. Shout out to what's his name, Nathan?
Or he's
The guy with
already
the cargo pants.
he's already like great, or not. Yeah, he's already great and like definitely underrated. Like as far as like fame wise, I feel like if you're a fan, you know he's great.
Well, I mean, he
Like-
was in Deadpool, bro. He was like the bartender in Deadpool.
he
He has
yeah.
that recognition.
Yeah, he for sure does. And
He's
that's
been
like
in a lot of things, and he's funny.
yeah, he's
The animated roles he's done, like
he's like that's a real comic. Bro.
that's a real comic, dude. I liked that he did a crowd work special in the Stanley Hotel.
Hysterical.
Did you see that?
I saw it a while back.
Yeah, when it came out, but that was just like what? Where they filmed The Shining? You're just kind of like, oh, all right, dude.
T.J. Miller is lit. Are these CDs? I'm
Yeah.
so high. I'm like noticing things.
CDs.
Yeah, like
I got this boy lit up. Yeah.
you were a
I got
prom king.
records over here and CDs over there.
You were a prom king for
And Class Clown, yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. One more movie, Life After Beth.
I haven't seen it.
Have you seen it? Okay, here's where I get to go in on my spiel. Okay, so Life After Death, starring Aubrey Plaza and some dude. It's like, okay, let's go through an imaginary scenario real quick.
Mm.
You're in a healthy relationship with this girl. You've been dating 2 years. She dies tragically, right? Thank you. You're like, no, my girlfriend, I'm sad. And you go, like, you start becoming best friends with the family. And then one day the family just, like, stops talking to you. You're there like, what the fuck, man? And you go to their house and you think you see this bitch inside, like, walking around. And you're like, hey, I saw her. And then eventually you just break in and you find out she is there and she's inside.
She faked to death and she's living in her family's house?
Nah, she came back as a zombie, and the parents don't want to tell her that she died. They're just like, nah, you can't go outside today. You know, sorry. But it like, and so he is able to hang out with her, but he on the condition that he can't tell her she's dead. And she, over the course of a couple days, starts to act weird. And other people are coming back too. And they're like acting weird. You know, janitors, mailmen, people that have been around in a while. And then out of nowhere, it's like fucking chaos, dude. Just this like gnarly zombie movie where he doesn't want to kill. Like it's this old Yeller scenario. Yeah, and it's like the fun part is John C. Reilly plays the dad, and Molly Shannon's the mom. So it's really fun to watch them like have to deal with this situation. I think the guy is the dude from Waiting who doesn't talk the whole movie. The new kid that like he is the main subject of the movie, but he never gets to say anything. That's the whole thing until the end when he's like, "I've been with all you degenerate pieces of garbage all day, and you haven't let me say a single word." He's like, "You know who I hate the most? You." And he points at what's that actor's name? That super Mexican actor. He's like, "Me? What did I do?" You know that old dude? He looks like an old John Pena or Michael Pena, the older one.
Yeah.
Kind of got a lisp. He's really funny.
Mm.
Anyway, they point at him. And everyone looks at that guy, and then he does the brain, and he pulls the scrotum through his butt, makes everybody look. Do you remember that movie?
Barely.
I don't know why I went into like a brief tangent on Waiting there, but that's the ADHD. Anyway, if you've seen Waiting, the kid that doesn't talks the whole movie. Anyway, it wasn't that good. I gave it a 5 out of 10. It's watchable. And that was our movie list for the week here on episode 64. With our guest today, Michael Hall, who is very stoned. I'm on a pretty regular little level right now. What do you got planned in the future, buddy? What's going on? You got big dreams?
How to survive.
Survive. Facts.
Oh God. I currently work at FedEx, so I'm gonna try to leave and move on towards Uber. So I can start
Bigger and
making
better
my way-
things.
Bigger and better things. I gotta start going out to LA more.
Ironically, your car would shrink in size. If you went from
Uh,
FedEx to Uber, you would go from a pretty big car to a pretty regular sized car.
A really small one. Yeah, I gotta free my time up and do more stand up. And this job just isn't cutting it, basically. But that's about it. You know, just trying to survive and make more money. Yeah.
When people ask you, like, if you're a comedian, do you say I'm a paid comic, I'm a comic, like I'm a stand up, like How do you refer to it?
I say...
You've been paid before, I'm sure. A couple times here and there.
I just say I'm a stand-up comic. I do actually what I say is I do stand-up comedy around town.
There you go.
That's how I say it.
Oh, do you make money?
I'll just tell people the truth. No, not really.
Every once in a while?
Sorry, I'm stretching because my back is killing me. Every now and again, with the money you make. The most I made was about $700 in a month.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's sick.
That was
what
about
I
it.
made.
That was the only time. And I remember being able to, because I was in Louisiana, so my rent was $500, so I paid for rent, and I just had a little extra coin.
I could see you open up for somebody on the road, man. Like,
yeah,
you just got to keep it up.
I opened up for no one of
Stature.
two guys. One, his name I can't remember at the moment. He's a regular at a few clubs in New York.
Right.
The other one is a gentleman, Joe Prano. I don't think it's
Prano or Prano? Like
Prano.
A-H-N-O?
Prano.
Oh, okay.
He has a pretty popular podcast. I wish I knew it. I would plug it. But he's a cool cat. He travels. He's on the road. So yeah, two guys, two working comics.
There you go.
And honestly,
how many shows did you do on the road with them?
Only one.
Oh.
I only did one or two for both of them.
I'm saying like a travel thing.
Oh, never a travel thing. I've never traveled with them now. Yeah. I travel with one comic, but she's on the same level as me, and she was just opening up, or she was just headlining at a place. At a casino.
Okay.
So I got to open up for her there.
Well, that's dope.
Yeah, but we're also on the same level. But for that particular thing, she was much higher than me, doing 40-something minutes to my 28.
Was it a good 40?
She did way better than I did. Excuse me. She did way better than I did, and way better than like I thought she would have done.
Oh, okay. That's
She
good.
showed up because
Exceeded those expectations.
Exceeded the fuck out of those expectations. I think we both did because I had never done 28. I had only done like.
So you're pushing yourself a little bit.
I was pushing myself.
How many people were in the crowd?
It was over 200.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a 200.
And just you two?
It was just us two.
Damn.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
actually what I did was, sorry, I misspoke.
Very good.
I thought I was going to do 30. And at that time, remember we were talking about how...
28's pretty close to 30.
It's pretty close, and I was going to fill it up with some bullshit. But what I thought was going to be bullshit. You should never try to fill up stuff with what you think is going to be bullshit. I learned that there.
Uh-huh.
At that time, I thought I had 30. I didn't have 30. And she had walked up to me, our liaison for the casino at this hotel, Bonkers Comedy Club. This lady walks up to me and the headliner, and she's like, all right, so you're doing, what'd she say, like 40, 45 to the headliner? And the headliner was like, I thought I was doing like this time, not 40, 45. And the lady was like, no, that's what we do. And she looked at me as the opener, and she was like, and you're doing like close to 40, like a little over 30, close to 40. And I was like, I thought I was doing like this amount.
15.
Something like that. So we both went back downstairs to the green room.
You're like,
jumped in our notes. And was just like, fuck. And I was like, I'm opening. She was like, I'm headlining. And it was like our first time, like for real, like had ever like dealing with that situation. But we exceeded each other's expectations.
there you go.
We exceeded the expectations of the crowd. The crowd was just
They were giving.
very, very forgiving. Senior citizens.
Ooh.
Which could have went
that
the
could have
other
gone
way.
totally
Could've went-
awry.
Like, dude, senior citizens on the road that are so old, like their prime was smoking cigarettes on airplanes. Like that was their thing.
Oh wow, yeah.
So it was, but they were real cool because I ended up making fun of them, and that's what they wanted. They just wanted to feel included in the show.
Well, I'm dropping.
You know, so that's what I was able to give them. And then the headliner, she went and, you know, she did her thing.
What was her name?
Kimberly.
Kimberly. Nice. That's awesome. Check the chat box.
Is it still recording?
Mitch Ryan. Don't listen to him. Mike heard this guy suck eggs. Were you the one who threw the egg at my car, Mitch?
Is this still going on?
Wear the shirt, please.
What shirt?
Which shirt? Is he talking to me? Oh, I think he's talking to me. I know exactly what shirt he's talking about.
Man, I look so weird.
And Leo says hi. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in here live on episode 64. Yeah, Mitch wants me to wear the shirt. I'm not doing that. It says white men can't say, and then it says the N-word on the front and the back. And I got a blessing from the roast battle crew, but then when I watched the video, they cut the part of the video where he's like, "You have my blessing," and so now I can't even show people the video to be like, "This, I know it's okay. I can wear it." I'm afraid I'll just. I thought about cutting it out. My mom said the only way that I can wear it out in public is if I cut out the word.
Ooh,
Sense.
How much longer do we got for the thing?
I don't know. How long have we been going? You got to wrap up?
I just want to be there to be with this dog for a little bit.
Aw.
Yeah, are we still recording? My dog has... I'm sure most of the comics already know. My dog has cancer.
No, yeah. So Mike's dog has cancer. What's your dog's name, buddy?
Artemis.
Little Artemis has cancer. If you guys want to help, if you guys send a donation my way, I will. You make it specifically for his cause. I'll send it over to Mike. No problemo.
Y'all don't have to.
So
y'all don't have to do that. It would be great if you did.
Send prayers and wishes too. You know, gotta.
I love my boy.
I told him he's a comedian. Go make him laugh. It's the best medicine.
You know what's wild is that if there was if I had some person like a coworker that came up to me and was like, "Oh, I have cancer," I feel bad. I don't want to feel like that bad.
Right.
But like my dog, I'm like, oh my god.
That's the end of the world.
Ah, oh god.
It's your best buddy.
Oh, my boy. My boy.
How are you supposed to even deal with that, you know?
It's like I love, no one, I don't wish no death on anybody, but it's also like.
I don't wish no death. Yeah.
If I had to choose between like my dog and like another.
A random coworker. Audio. Hold on, I gotta make sure there's audio now whenever I get a call. I swear. Please don't be broken. Begging the universe right now.
Don't be broken.
Don't be broken. Let's find out if there's sound. Please be sound. Right here, go live. Is there something now? Hit the button. Here we go. No, see? There's no sound. That's it. Hold on, I gotta make sure there's audio. Is that good? Yes. We're good. We're live. Okay, cool. I was so worried there. Okay, so yeah. You know what? We've been here for almost an hour. Mike, what keeps you doing stand-up comedy? Why do you keep doing this over and over again?
I'm a masochist.
Yeah.
No,
Is that true? You like pain?
Let me tell you. Every day.
Just not whips though, right?
Again, racist.
Or chains.
Racist.
Yeah, but it's on purpose. It's just deliberate wordplay.
I know. I gotta say, let the brothers out there know I'm riding with us still. Boom.
I can ride too. I just don't say the word.
What word is that, Seabass?
Nancy Pelosi.
I do it because I set out to do it. I'm gonna.
You feel like you get better every time?
Every time. That's why whenever people ask me like how long I've been doing it, I say 7 years from when I got to New Orleans, because you're only gonna see real change in stand-up if you go up every day.
Yep.
If you're not going up every day, you got to go up every day for like 5 years straight. Basically, I was getting a divorce, and I was still going up and open mics. I was not missing it. I wanted to take it seriously. I didn't want it to. It's my faith. It's like that's what I believe in.
It is kind of like a church.
It's kind of like a church, and it's like if Now I'm at the point to where I've been doing it. Damn, like I had did it every day for 7 years, and came here, or almost every day for 7 years, and then came here. You know, there were times where you couldn't do it. Like maybe I was working, or maybe I had to go see family.
There's something.
Shit like that. But
basically, yeah.
once I moved here, then I felt sufficient enough to be like, now I'm at, I personally feel like I am at the level now to where if I take a few weeks off, it would not do me as much harm
as it would at that first period.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, what I do need to do is to continue. I need to get back in that motion, which is why I need to give up my job and start doing other things to free up my time.
Yep.
To go and do this.
To devote more to this and that.
Yeah, because that's the only way you're going to see real change. For anyone that doesn't like, so for any comics out there like that want to know like, oh, how'd you get so good? It's like I didn't get good. I'm not even like, I don't even consider myself good. I consider myself okay for the amount of time I've been doing it. And that there are other people out there that do it 10, 20 times a night. They're great.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're doing it 10 or 20 times a night, we need to hold ourselves accountable here on the West Coast or the South or in the northern parts of the country. You need to hold yourselves accountable to match or do your best to match what they're doing in New York. Because rest assured, they are not fucking around. When, like, I am such a firm believer, like, in, like, you can only bullshit through stand-up. You can only go so far with bullshit.
Yep.
Eventually,
it weeds out.
It will weed the fuck out. And when you get to that, you could bullshit your way to, like, a professional stage in front of a lot of people. But you might kill that night. You might kill on some luck shit. But that next stage, when the stakes are higher, like, it's like, you gotta be good. You gotta put the time in. Because, you know what's scary? Is that, like, I remember thinking, like, you don't want to go to, you just don't want to go to, like, a new place and not be prepared to swim.
Mm-hmm. Just go back to being an open micer after all this work. You're just the new guy at the club and doing open mics.
It's like when I left New Orleans, I was, like, terrified. And then I got to San Diego, and then I was like, okay, I need to see how the other fish in the pond are.
You left your presence in pretty quick. It was cool.
Yeah.
People got to know you fast.
And I
like you.
The scene is wildly welcoming. Wildly welcoming. I can't even believe, like...
You can speak for yourself.
Well, I mean, like, okay, for my personal experience, I have met a few...
There's a few characters.
There's a few characters, but basically...
For the most part, though, yeah.
Yeah, for the most part, there are some good humans out here.
Yep.
For the most part.
Like the people who are booking the Yellow Door, for instance.
I didn't even know
Wonderful people.
I didn't even know. I was like, oh my god, that... The fact that National Lampoon has a club in San Diego is lit.
National Lampoon.
That is fucking fire, bro.
Family vacation.
No.
Christmas vacation.
I just spilled some water right here in my pants.
Water? Shame. You know, National Lampoon opening a comedy club here in San Diego on 5th Street. Absolutely mind-blowing.
Insane.
Called the Yellow Door.
Insane.
First person to make the reference in the comment section gets a cookie.
Got cookies?
That's what Mr. Beast is doing. He's giving away cookies for subscribers, and he just hit 300 million. So, subscribe for cookies. Especially like the ones on your computer kind. I can't afford to send you all real cookies. Yeah, we're pretty much getting towards the latter end. At the same time, do you have any other shows coming up besides tonight you want to plug? Besides the 24th?
24th, and then I am performing for Comedy Heights August 8th.
I've applied for that so many times. Alright, so we got this guy, July 24th at the Comedy Store, 8 o'clock. Check him out there. August 8th at Normal Heights in North Park. Check that out. Go get those tickets on Eventbrite. You can also catch us both tonight at Bolt Brewery in La Mesa, California at 7:30. Put on by Red Pill Entertainment. yeah, watch that. You can watch Mike dance in person and tell jokes. I will be there as well, taking some photos and slinging a few ha-has, hopefully. And I don't really have any like other big dates coming up that I want to plug. So I would just like you guys to watch more of my videos on my channel. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Like the video and do all the YouTube stuff. We started a new short series this week. Brand new short series. I'm sure maybe you guys have seen it, where I'm doing a dad joke while bike surfing. Do you like those videos? Yeah, if so, great. If not, well, then that probably sucks to be you. At the same time, if you did like the videos, leave me a dad joke in the comment, and if I like them, I will start using them for the videos, because dad jokes are fun, and everybody can win with a dad joke. I don't have kids, but I want to get real good and prepared by the time I do have them.
Father called me a joke.
Turns out.
Oh God!
I'm the maniac. I tried to write a joke the other day, except like it just happened in real life. I was at the bike shop, and this guy was getting helped up by my friend Chris. Shout out to Chris at SD at Wheelworks for spotting me the cash to get my dad's drum set back. I know I have to get some of that back to you, but seriously, you're a blessing. Enjoy the Michael Jackson record. I love you, dude. Shout out to Chris. Anyway, I was at the shop, and he was helping out this dude pick a bike. And I was just walking by, and I'm like, hey, this guy's, he's the best in the business. You're in good hands. And Chris just goes, I just love what I do. And I said, yeah, but you can love what you do and still be really bad at it, Like I love painting. I'm not a very good painter. My mom loves me.
You know what?
Just leave it right there. And I was like, maybe there's something in that.
Hitler was really bad at painting. You know what he was good at?
What? I'm letting you say it. The tables have turned.
Good night, everybody.
And that's our show. Yeah. That would be pretty funny. Yeah.
Hitler killed some Jews. Hey.
I wish I would have kept going for like one more second. One more second. Well, this exists now in the ethereal realm of the internet. Will my YouTube channel get canned? Find out in the next episode of the Galactic Seabass Podcast. I know today is Saturday. We traditionally do this on Thursday. However, this was a special Saturday edition. This was episode N64 of the podcast.
Nice.
I know. I wanted to make one more little racial jab before I parted ways. Be careful. This is my baby.
No, it doesn't go in. The holes are different.
Yeah, that's what, well, nowadays you can kind of make anything fit anywhere. So, with that being said, we're definitely canceled. Thank you so much for tuning into the Galactic Seabass channel, episode 64, with my good friend Mike Hall. Michael, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode with me today.
AKA Darth Xanatos.
I have no idea what that means. Shouts out to the universe. Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for riding with me today. We ride hard on these motherfuckers.
They not like us.
We keep those motherfucking things on us. You know what I'm saying? And little did we know that we meddle with middlemen who meddle. Wait, no. Oh, I screwed up the lyrics. I was trying to make it all like grammatically correct.
Did you just say you did?
Little did we know that we meddle with middlemen who don't do diddly in the little of Italy. Man,
is that what Big Pun said? Little do we know that we didn't do diddly with the...
I'm actually upset now that I can't get the... Little did we know that we meddled with middle... that's actually... I skipped the part. Dead in the middle of Little Italy. Little did we know that we meddled with middlemen who didn't do diddly... Like, okay, see, I could do it if I do it fast. Dead in the middle of Little Italy. Little did we know that we meddled with middlemen who didn't do diddly. See, now there you go. That's how we're going to end this one out today. Thank you very much for tuning in. Shout out to Big Pun. Shout out to Biggie. Shout out to Fat Joe. Shout out to my friend Mike here for tuning into this episode. Actually, he wasn't even tuned in. You're the one who's tuned in. He's physically present. And now we are just a virtual cast, streaming on your computer, your phone, your laptop, your iPad. You might be on the toilet right now watching this. How strange. What a world we live in. Mike, any last words you want to say?
Darth Xanatos.
Again with the Xanatos. All I know is I'm trying to suck on some Xanatos. Was that good? All right, Mike is out of the building. That makes sense. And again, I am Sebastian, aka Seabass, your host here on the Galactic Seabass channel. Thanks for doing this episode with me, Mike. You're a good dude. And thank you for tuning in. Absolutely blessed to have all you guys as viewers. I'm going to check this chat box one last time. See if anybody said something.
Laser stretch.
Nobody said anything, so that's it. Thanks for tuning in. This was episode 64. Again, if you want to support the podcast, several ways to down below. My name's Sebastian. You're amazing. Best of luck in all your endeavors. And this, ladies and gentlemen, was a podcast. Hey, we'll see you guys next time. End transmission.
We've been recording?
Yes, sir. All right, peace, guys. Where's the thing?
Hey, Buster Brown.